Here's part 3. Sunday 05/13, 27 seconds. Fucking 2025, the year 6 month, June, first day. Now, brother's got some fucking shut the fucking lights off. Don't want no electricity on in here with a fucking fire hazard. So, anyway. So here's the view out here, coming out from the area there, and then coming out here. So you got the garden hose out here. Fucking, there's everything going on over there. Got the inspectors are still scoping stuff out. So he's messing with a post. And then there's this area over here. There's rather put some garden stuff in there, planted more to the garden, snap peas and stuff like that. So there they are over there, and that's a rental house. So there's different people been in there through the 20 years that Russell's been here. And there was a little kind of a makeshift tarp tent in the back that went from the fence to the house. So sometimes, was there an illegal migrant hid in there? Could have been an illegal migrant sleeping underneath a little tarp or something, but it's hard to tell. It could be anything, but it's just evidence to consider. But yeah, come to find out that the flames coming out of the roof, after most of the fires seemed to be out, the fence was still kind of going a little bit. There was flames shooting out the top of the roof up there. Come to find out, those are air vents that are up there, and it was coming out through that. But the fire seems to have gotten into the attic from the tree, and probably the tarp caught on fire, because when the brother came out here, it was when he came out here, it was just a fire, and it seems like Russell could have put it out with a garden hose. But then as soon as he got back here, that's when it went. And at that point, he said, "Oh shit, this is going to have to be an 1.5-inch hose." Something, and then he went back to call the fire department. Couldn't get through on the smartphone. Something was fucking hacked on it. And so went over to the neighbor, pounded on the door. "Wake up, huh? We got a fire." And so from then, then there. And then she noticed that there was a fireman here. And so the brother's wondering, who called 911? There was a fireman already here, and he had a fucking 1.5-inch hose going. Now that is fucking supernatural quick response. Something's kind of funny with that one, but you never know. All kinds of fake stuff going on, setups, acting, Hollywood acting, all that, tests and all that stuff, hologram simulations. But yeah. But then at that point, once the brother realized that there was an 1.5-inch hose on the fire, and it seemed like a fireman there, could kind of faintly see that they was dressed up, looked like firemen. Fireman clothing from a distance, and it's dark out, it's 3 a.m. now, so that's when the brother put the garden hose together, and then Springfield Officer Barry showed up, and he says, we got this, because brother was getting the hose set up to jump the fence and come out and put the fucking rest of the fucking fire out. But, so you just put the rest of the hose together, and then finally got it together and just sprayed from the fence line over here just to wet down anything with embers, because there were 5 embers in the backyard over here. And then looked over to be sure nothing was burning in the neighbor's yard, and she got lights in the backyard, Christmas lights wrapped around the bushes and shit. So brother thought, oh well, those are just lights. So wonderful. And that's her house. That's the house where she lives, so she can care for the house. If she woken up at 3 a.m. with a fire, I'm sure she's got a fire. She's got a garden hose. She can care for her house, or the house that she's at. So, and then some girl walked along the bike path after an hour of the firefighters being here, and the fire somewhat out, and it looked like it was short, kind of like the neighbor Vahana. So the brother said, "Is that you, Vahana?" No answer. And then said, "Vahana," and then some voice came out. So he went to the front, and then thought, saw it looked like that same girl, short girl, walked that way, and he ran all the way down to the end of the drive to see if I could see who it was. But obviously, it probably wasn't Vahana, because I was thinking it was the neighbor Vahana. But then the disappeared. I got down there's no one around. That's when he came around here and came down the bike path, went around the front of the house. Got the fire inspector still here, and a couple firemen. So yeah, and once again, the astrology report said for yesterday, May 31st, said for Capricorns, because Russell's a Capricorn, said Capricorns stay home today. They said it was put in a churchy sense. The angel of death is coming. Stay home today. Angel of death is visiting. That was multiple YouTube videos. People on YouTube playing the tarot cards, giving general readings. Capricorn, stay at home today. Angel of death is passing. Don't go out in town today. But it didn't happen till today, which is the next morning. Angel of death. Okay, this would be considered symbolically the angel of death passed. No one died. They weren't even home. No one was injured, according to the reports for the inspectors. So, symbolically, allegorically, metaphorically, the angel of death passed. The next morning, 2:45 in the morning, and it could have been someone walked down this bike path and fucking set it on fire with all the ICE raids going, and immigration and politics and fires that have been set. All kinds of YouTube reports, people were setting fires for this and that, for all kinds of different reasons. So and brother has seen some extraordinary Spanish-looking, Mexican-looking, more than usual immigrants around here, especially around the bike path area, and at work where the brother formerly worked, and knowing more than likely a bunch of illegals were being hired in there. That's one of the reasons this brother was let go. Plenty of illegals working over there where Russell got laid off from. Yeah. But this is all just evidence to consider. Everything's always hearsay. So, not saying that that's what's going on, but it's wonderful to have all evidence to consider and to consider it. So, anyway. Might as well get a closer view. And it seems kind of that the neighbors aren't even home. And this seems to be a rental house. I'm sure the owner's going to be, and you never know, the owner might have been in on it too, if it was sabotage, if it was. So. They might have been trying to burn Russell's fucking house down. Have the fire jump the line over here. So, knowing who wrote this, private military, lien holder advancing on the lawful side through the Vatican. So, but you know, that's more to consider. So, but yeah, so this is it. This is all public fare through here, public bike path. Looks like a planter right there. So it almost looks like a truck, the back of a truck, but it's just a planter. But this is where the tarp was, right here. Kind of out of the ordinary for a nice house. But this is the tree here that seemed to be more on fire, and then of course the fence. So this is all wooden fence, and it's all mainly burnt down good right here. And then the regular fence right here, and then this side is still fairly standing. You know, and there's homeless people like to visit. This is a nice spot for homeless people. They come over here along the fence line for where Russell's at every once in a while, especially during the summer, and they like to hang out here with the tree. For the past 20 years that Russell's been here. So, and then here's the bike path going in with this property here. And these are older people that seem to be living here, renting the house, elderly. It could be that they're on vacation or visiting other places. But there's the regular car, as though someone's living there type thing. And here's the fire marshal's truck, Springfield Eugene Fire Marshal. So, and then going down the side. So like I said, they tore the whole fucking side of the house off, to be sure. Or, you know, the fire department. The people in the fire department. It's not the fire department. The people, the real living people, men and women in the fire department. They tore the side of the house off, and, you know, to be sure, everything going on inside with the fire, or anybody in there, dogs, cats, people, birds, squirrels, any living organisms, to be sure. And to salvage the house as most as possible. That way it's less money for the reinsurance companies to reconstruct. So, yeah, 2 trees caught on fire here. So it's mainly this tree right here's got more fire on it, coming up the side here. See that there? It's blacker, and then the black area is around right in this area. And this is, like I said, this is where the tarp is. See all the black on the house? Most of the fire here is right in here. So it must have. Oh, looks like there's. What the fuck is that? Looks like some type of power line, copper pipe or something way up there. To get the zoom in here. There's the zoom right there. So it's some type of copper pipe going up the side of the house, power line or something. But this is someone else's property anyway. But this is the public fare through here though, bike path, sidewalk. So we got the back of the house torn up, the top up there. So, and then of course here's the side of the house ripped off there. There's the inspector, one of the inspectors, and got the lights going. And then here's the neighbor's house where the brother went and ran to the fence, pounding on the neighbor's door to wake her up, because the phone couldn't get through on the phone. And at that point, she opened up the back. She could see from the sliding glass doors over there in her house. She could see that there, because the original fireman that showed up was right here on this side, right in here. Right there on the inside, coming from the neighbor's fence line over here, Because here's the fence that got burnt down between the two houses. And she saw the neighbor over here from way over there. She saw that there was a fireman already here. So she said, that's what she said. She said, someone's got it. She said, someone's got it. So the brother ran all the way to back her in underwear, with some loafers on, because he just woke up. Ran all the way back to her fence and saw the firefighter. And that's when we're both in her house now. I've never been in her house, although I had been in that house, because she just bought that house from the previous neighbors. And then we're sitting in there, and there's that feeling of girl boy now. Here's a guy half naked. She's single, I'm single. And I said to the sofa quickly, okay, I need to get back out here and go back home and secure the area. That's her house, that's where she lives. She can secure her area where she's at. So anyway, that's when he came out here and all that. Oh, we got another wonderful. The public, some of the public down here. That's the public. Hey. Public on the bike path, because it's public. Free speech zone. Public. It's like street performance, sidewalks and all that stuff, according to the legal and the legalism standards, which is different from law. So, yeah. Yeah, so, that would be that. Get this thing back on the battery, because the battery's low on this. This is an iPhone 8, Apple iPhone 8. Brother needs to crack this thing open and replace the battery so it goes down quick. Gotta keep this thing on the power line. All right, so put the fire line back in. Hopefully everything should be wonderful. Oh, there it's connected, came up on the TV. It's the military camera app, because it's got the credentials, and so it's a landing strip going vertical up and up on the fucking, everything sideways on the big screen up here. Anyway, good enough for part 3, so later.